Good morning. Thank you for coming out this morning. We wanted to take a second as we approach Thanksgiving and talk a little bit about what the city's changing on our testing policies and how we're going to approach the holidays and what we're asking the public to be doing on this front. At the end of the day, we're realistic that despite guidelines at the state level, that people will do what people will do, and more than likely they will be inviting family members and friends into their households at a larger number than the state guidelines. And it's important that we're realistic about that, and I wanted to take a second and talk through that, and then have our Director of Health and Human Services and our Director of Public Safety speak to how the city's approaching this in the next week. Most importantly, we are expanding our testing locations significantly. We had, as of 2 weeks ago, we had 3 municipal testing locations that are free to Jersey City residents and people that work in the city. We're expanding that next week to 8 locations throughout the city. And what we're asking is that all residents take advantage of that prior to Thanksgiving. We know that, again, that people will be having guests in their homes. And we think the best way to keep people safe is getting tested early, using the resources that we put in place, and making sure that they keep them and their family safe. Up to date, we've done more than 70,000 tests just on the municipal side. That's not including private testing locations like CityMD. And we've distributed close to 1 million masks. And we're doing that actively over the next week. But today is really a public request asking every single resident here to take advantage of those 8 locations. There's one in every single neighborhood in the city. Please come and get tested so that we can make sure that you and your family is safe. I'm going to turn it over to our Director of Health and Human Services, Stacey Flanagan. She'll talk a little bit more about the locations, the trends we're seeing. We are seeing an uptick in fatalities. We did expect that, obviously, but it's still not at the same rate that we saw in April, and that's important to speak to. So I'm going to turn it over to our director here.
So thank you, Mayor Phillip. And so right here, we're in a commercial district. So our partners, the Commercial District Services and the Journal Square Special Improvement District, are hosting testing in addition to several other commercial districts where we see people shopping in the community. So we note that many places where people are going shopping, spending a long time inside stores, are places where they can get exposed. So we've partnered with our local special improvement districts to expand testing. We're currently at 4 special improvement districts and moving to 5 as of next week. So we're in West Side, we're down at the historic downtown Sid, we're here at Journal Square. In addition, we're moving to Central Avenue and expanding to all of the SIDs by the end of the year. So that's one exciting piece. We're doing that in partnership with Prestige Health, and they work with BioReference Labs. In addition to that, we work with Rapid Reliable Testing. They are the city's testing facility at Marin. On Monday evenings, we visit different Jersey City housing locations. On Fridays this month, we're up in Jersey City Heights at Paco, and we have been several times at Blesk so that we can work with our neighborhood partners who engage people in the community to do the right thing and get tested. This past week, we added 2 quick testing locations, one rapid testing, which is a 15-minute Binex test supported in partnership with the state and the United Way. And that's a 15-minute test right here on Bergen Avenue. We're rolling that out. Next week, we'll have that open as well. In addition, we opened up a saliva location, so the Spectrum test that is a local lab here in New Jersey. So those that were tested yesterday will have their results by this evening. And everyone that was tested on Monday already has their results. And we're doing that at the Bethune Center. We're continuing that next week. That's a unique test that's allowing us to do quick outbreak direct tests. Majority of the health department and one of our federally qualified health center partners, the Alliance, has been trained in that test. And when there is an uptick in a particular community, whether it be a school and or religious group that has called us over the last several weeks, we can schedule a test quite rapidly and get results overnight. So we're very excited about that. And in addition to that, we've been working with a lot of local partners. We have a new lab opening up this evening, Fusion Labs, which is also a local New Jersey lab that is going to be partnering with South Hudson Civic Association. That's going to be Thursday and Friday nights. It goes from 1 to 8 p.m. In addition, Saturday and Sundays. We've expanded hours at Marin, so we're open a little bit later till 4, and then we're opening on Saturdays between now and the end of the year. So we're continuing to add not just locations, but hours to ensure that there's additional testing and support. We're continuing to work with every partner to make sure that we can move testing into every neighborhood as quickly as possible. In addition to that, over the next few days up until Thanksgiving, all families across the city will be receiving an envelope looking something like this that has a packet of masks. We're encouraging people to wear their mask everywhere they go. If they need more, they can always call the health department, and we partner with hundreds of nonprofits across the city. We pack up masks on a weekly basis for people to pick up and distribute in their communities. We've got a lot of partners that are mask renegade and travel up and down local areas to make that happen. So I don't know.
Perfect. We've had a lot of questions about law enforcement complaints for people that are having gatherings larger than the guidelines from the state, how the city's interacting. I'm going to turn it over to Director Jim Shea to talk a little bit about the approach that we've had up till now in detail. But by and large, we've tried our best to preach personal responsibility. We've put in place a lot of tools for people to get tested, to have resources so that they can be safe over the next 4 or 5 days. We are seeing an increase, like I said earlier, in positive cases, and the resources are there to protect yourself. So I'll turn it over to Director Jim Shea here.
So good morning. From the beginning of our fight against COVID in Jersey City, we took the idea that rather than an enforcement-based model on forcing people to behave a certain way, we would trust our citizenry and we would go with an educational model and a cooperative model. And the people of Jersey City, the community groups, the business community, everybody, just the everyday residents have been phenomenal working with us. There's been 1 or 2 times that we've had to be a little stronger in our recommendations, but for the most part, the reason that I think we've seen the success we have here in Jersey City and that our rates of infection and that our fatality rates are less than what were originally expected based on the way this disease works is because of all the work of every single person in Jersey City. So we're just asking people to please continue with that. We're coming into a dangerous couple months. The holidays give people a lot of reasons to get together. In addition to the holidays giving everyone reasons, our young people are returning from colleges, and that's necessary travel. They're going to be coming back from all parts of the country. And the weather's changing, as we can all feel today. And it's going to be forcing people back indoors where it seems definitely the virus is more conducive to spreading the more people spend time indoors. So we're just going to reiterate to everyone and to ask them that as much as we valued their contributions, we need them to keep doing it. And we need them to realize that we're entering a more dangerous period again. And we need to reiterate the spending time. If you have to spend time together, try to stay 6 feet apart. Try to limit the amount of time you spend indoors with people that are not in your immediate household. Wear masks as much as possible. Take advantage of the fact that we will give masks to anyone who wants them. We'll provide them for you. As far as the police department discovering, or any of our enforcement agencies discovering people not following these guidelines, we will continue to go with an educational policy, They will talk to the people there, explain the dangers, try to mitigate by providing personal protective equipment, by providing advice. And only if people are completely not willing to follow our advice will we go to an enforcement model. Our quality of life people, under our municipal prosecutor, Jake Hudnut, have had the lead on this since the beginning. They will continue to. We've purposely decided we did not want our law enforcement to be at odds with our citizens about everyday interactions. They've done a great job, and we expect them to continue to doing so through the next couple months. And I'm confident that Jersey City will get through this because of what I've witnessed our people doing already.